Here on First Things First, Undisputed coming up at 9:30 sharp. Jenny Taft, good morning to you. What's on the show today?
Good morning, Jenna. Hey, guys. Coming up on Undisputed, will we get another Mayweather-Pacquiao fight? The two have been talking on social media. And is Ezekiel Elliott actually overrated? Plus, Chris Haynes and Mark Schlereth are in studio with us. Undisputed coming up next. Jenna, back to you.
All right, Jenny, thanks. Have a great show. We are going viral here on First Things First. LeBron James spending his off-season filming Space Jam 2, but just because the king is on set doesn't mean he isn't celebrating his favorite day of the week.
Y'all, I'm on Space Jam right now shooting, and y'all wish I could show y'all the whole uniform, but I can't. But more importantly, y'all know what today is, right? Taco Tuesdays! Taco Tuesdays! You thought y'all was gonna go all day without me saying Taco Tuesday? Oh, you thought you was getting out of this, Gina? Taco Tuesday! You thought you was getting out of this? And you thought you was getting out of this? Nobody gets out of Taco Tuesday.
Wow. Go.
I don't know why LeBron does this. But one of our producers, Ryan Brumley, said, I'd rather LeBron do the decision and the ensuing celebration press conference every year than this every week.
Well, Sam Pepper got in there and said, is LeBron gone insane?
I mean, listen, I ride for LeBron, obviously, but this is I don't get it. Now, when he was at home with his kids doing embarrass the kids dad humor, I'm all for embarrassing your kids with some good dad jokes. But he's at work, man.
Is that a vegetarian, like with the grilled corn?
It looks like it might be. I thought it might have been a breakfast taco, but you're right. Those aren't eggs. That's grilled corn.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure they're delicious.
And he's got his chef. I love that he's got his chef no matter where he goes. At home, the chef is there. But of course, the wife's there. Good for him. He's
happy. He's enjoying himself, and there's a ton of green screen on Space Jam 2.
Definitely. Maverick,
Prepare yourself.
Get your mans. Like, this is... We can't do it. What, are we going to do this every Tuesday?
Maybe
the same thing? Come on, LeBron.
I'm going to tell you what we're not going to do on every Wednesday. We're not going to review what he did on Tuesday. I can guarantee that part. I don't know what LeBron going to do. He run his show, but guess what we getting ready to do?
You run yours?
Bap. We off for the summer.
Back to the Chiefs now. They opened up training camp yesterday. Patrick Mahomes coming off a year in which he threw for 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, and he helped guide the Chiefs to the AFC title game. This season, yeah, it'll be a challenge to repeat his numbers, but Mahomes says he's more focused on how far his team can go.
I mean, as a competitor, I'm going out there and trying to be the best quarterback I can be. And I think with the people around me, it's not about me trying to take a next step. It's about me just going within the offense and leaning on my teammates and letting them rise up with me. And I feel like that's something that we're going to try to do as a team, is just build with each other and in order to take that next step as an offense and as a team.
He's under the microscope by everybody asking that same question. Has he changed? Has he done this or that? But I think when you're around him, you see that this is what he is. He grew up around this. He grew up around star players, even though it was baseball, and so he's not awed by any of it. He wants to be a great player in the National Football League, and he understands that there's certain things that I've got to take care of. There's a certain foundation I have to be great, and he's maintained that through this offseason.
All right, CC, Patrick Mahomes gets ready for his third season, his second really full season as a starter, lit up the league last year. What do you think the biggest challenge will be for him as he gets ready to start?
Every player, not only Patty Mahomes is the MVP, every player from top to bottom, the guy playing his first snap compared to the most seasoned, that's Tom Brady, because the seasons are so difficult and there is no script. So you have to prepare for things that you don't know are going to happen. If I'm Patty Mahomes, the number one thing I'm trying to do, I'm trying to keep my focus on myself compared to when he says the thing, yeah, you know something about my team. The only way the Chiefs go somewhere is if Patty Mahomes is excellent. So it starts with yourself. So you have to be very, very selfish about your preparation compared to the left guard's preparation, the tight end's preparation. So you have to make sure that you're consistent. Now, he's learning as a leader. So a lot of times you see them overextend themselves as far as their time compared to in his first year as a starter. What did he do in trying to duplicate that time? Try not to take his team to the AFC Championship because that was the last game. That shouldn't be the goal. Every team should be, we want to play the best football that this team can play because they got a different cast of characters. They need to develop another wide receiver outside of Tyreek Hill because outside Tyreek Hill, they don't have another wide receiver that's dependable. Travis Kelce is the best tight end that we have in the NFL. So how do I develop some of these other players becomes critical. And then you look at it month after month, week after week. Patty Mahomes didn't have a bad month.
No.
So how do you duplicate that? It's impossible. The greatest offenses we've had in this league, say the top 5, none of them duplicated their success that following season. Patty Mahomes should know that, concentrate on himself, slow build, trying to get a position in the playoffs, and then once you get in the playoffs, then you recalibrate what your real goals are.
This is such a tough thing to discuss because we've never seen a season quite like the one Patrick Mahomes had last year. We've seen 2 seasons on par with it. Tom Brady in 07, Peyton Manning the first year he took Denver to the Super Bowl. I think that was 2013 if I remember correctly. But those were 2 guys who were already all-time greats, already Super Bowl champions, already with a long football resume of mostly successes and some failures. Chris, absolutely right. We can't point to, well, what he can do this year is avoid that bad. No, they didn't have a bad month. His worst month was December, where he had 13 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a 106 rating. Well, avoid that game where, no, they lost 5 games all last year. 4 of them, he either took the lead in the 4th quarter or tied the game with less than 3 minutes left, and then the defense gave it up. So for Patrick Mahomes, the difference for him will be the weight of expectations. Last year, Chiefs fans, as much as they liked Alex Smith, were just excited for the first time a young homegrown quarterback. The Chiefs hadn't spent a first-round pick on a quarterback since Todd Blackledge. He was the same draft as Dan Marino. And so it had been that long, so it was a new, fresh blood, exciting style of play. Now, you're on national TV a minimum of 5 times this year. You have legitimate, Vegas says, Super Bowl hopes and aspirations. Does that weigh on him and weigh on the team? There's that part of it. And then there is the real question for the Chiefs, which was the reason they didn't go to the Super Bowl last year. It was not because the moment ever was too big for Patrick Mahomes. It was because the defense was awful. And they added Frank Clark. They added Tyrann Mathieu. They brought in Steve Spagnuolo as a new defensive coordinator. But how much better is that run defense? How much better, if at all, are those corners, which might have been the worst group in the NFL? That's the real question to me for the Chiefs. Because even though he's only done it for 1 year, I think Patrick Mahomes is in the midst of a stretch of what will be a decade of Pro Bowl level play. So even if he's not 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, league MVP, the Chiefs have the quarterback position taken care of. It's everything else. And on offense, a full season without Kareem Hunt, which I know concerns you, asking Damian Williams to do something he's never done at a super high level in this league, be your bell cow running back for an elite offense. Those are the questions. Mahomes, to me, is the Chiefs' biggest answer more than anything else.
I think you said it great. I don't think the stage or the bright lights has ever been too big for Patrick Mahomes, at least not last year. He seemed to handle it great. The one difference there could be, though, and tell me if I'm wrong, is the way teams are going to now game plan for him. They have a season under their belt of seeing how he plays, what he's really good at. So it may not be him adjusting with his own game, but more so how being able to read defenses a little bit better. I mean, what kind of transition do you think that will make for him?
There has to be a transition, Jenna, because they will do things different. You've seen film on him, and as the season went on, teams started to defend him differently, led by the New England Patriots in the AFC Championship game where they defended them the best as an offense by keeping the offense off the field, by time of possession, running at that raggedy defense. That defense is a problem. Like, we need to stop talking about Patty Mahomes and start talking about that defense, because if you can't be a top 15 defense, then we're not going to see the best of Patty Mahomes. On that, in the AFC Championship game, how many minutes they spent on the field? The defense.
Oh, 35, 36?
They couldn't get off the field. So regardless, even if Patty Mahomes is going to grow, and he's going to throw less touchdowns, and you could still be a better player, even though your numbers don't duplicate. To me, even though Nick says this, that Patty Mahomes is the answer, Patty Mahomes need to not worry about that. That's not his job. His job is to perfect his craft that he has not perfected. He had one good season. And a lot of times, especially the quarterback, people ask him all these questions. What about the defense? What about the running game? That's not his problem. And he's not going to have an answer for that. Patty Mahomes should be just like Tom Brady. He concentrates on himself. He concentrates on doing his job because that's the mantra. Do your job. I hope Patty Mahomes gets that and doesn't get distracted worrying about, oh, who's my second best wide receiver? Oh, the defense didn't stop anyone again, because that's something he's not going to be able to solve.
All right, let's get back to the NBA now. Kawhi Leonard's decision to join the Clippers brought him just a little closer to his childhood home in California. But according to reports, winning championships was more important to Kawhi than playing close to home. Interesting, since he passed on a chance to form a super team with the Lakers, also close to home, which would almost guarantee him a title. Kawhi reportedly felt the best way to win would be to pair up with Paul George. Nick, were the Clippers the best chance for Kawhi to win?
No, of course not. The best chance to win would have been to go with the Lakers once they have LeBron and Anthony Davis. But that wouldn't have been his best choice, because winning might be the most important thing, but it is not the only thing. And the method in which you win, especially when you do believe, as he should, even if I don't, he should, that he's the best player in basketball, certainly matters. And he clearly was fine with playing with another person in contention best player in basketball, or else he wouldn't have tried to potentially play with Kevin Durant. I think he would have been open to playing with just LeBron or playing with just Anthony Davis. We found he was open to playing potentially with James Harden, another guy who's won league MVP. But joining two of those guys who are in discussion for best player in the league, a team that already had championship aspirations without you, that discounts what you are able to accomplish, what you are able to achieve. And I think he learned the lesson, or whether he needed to learn the lesson or not, he knew what everyone knew in the reaction to Kevin Durant's move, which was, I mean, you can do what you want, but it's going to feel a little cheapened. If he wins a title with the Clippers next year, it is worth more for his personal legacy than winning 2 in a row with the Lakers, with LeBron and Anthony Davis, because of how he would have done it. So, no, it's not the best chance for him to win, but obviously they can win. They're the Vegas favorites to win. It's not like he's joining a moribund team. And if he does it, it is an accomplishment so much greater than what he would have been able to accomplish alongside LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Yeah, if Anthony Davis is not there, then the Lakers are a legitimate contender to be able to get his services. But no, not unless Toronto didn't have anything to offer or the Clippers weren't going to make a trade. That's the only way he was going to go as a consolation prize to the Lakers. Kawhi Leonard wanted to do it his way. It's just like saying, well, what if San Antonio, if they had a competent team and wanted to bring him back there? He wouldn't never went there either. You know the reason why? Because if he wins a championship there, you know who's going to get the credit?
The system, Popovich, beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is about trying to situate yourself where you can compete. And Kawhi has been the only person that has gone basically on record without saying it, I want to compete against LeBron. I don't mind that. And when they wanted to get the trade from San Antonio to Los Angeles, they didn't mind going to the Clippers competing against LeBron. It wasn't, oh, I must go to the Lakers or bust. No, Kawhi wants to win championships. That's why he wanted to talk to Kevin Durant. That's why he wanted to potentially interview with the Knicks, because if he can get someone else, he believes he can beat all these other guys that are paired up together.
Compete with LeBron on even footing. And that's why having Paul George with him was so important. You know, nobody wants to go into a gunfight with a knife. And so once the Clippers were able to acquire a guy that got him in the game, now all of a sudden it's like, okay, we'll go head to head. That's the part we missed out on when KD joined the Warriors. It was like, okay, you are competing, but it doesn't feel like it's on equal footing. But this idea that championships are the only thing you're defined by is foolish. There's plenty of wide receivers that won championships. They don't got 1,100 yards or 1,100 catches and 130 touchdowns. What you accomplished on the journey matters a ton. It's great if the journey ends with a title.
Sure.
But if it does, then we start thinking about how did you win that title?